back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. One big happy family. I'd like to mention that for the most part I use 4-ply 100% cotton thread. These are Portugal threads. We go by color and number, not by name. A lot of you is asking about these threads. I do ship them out because there is quite a bit of requests on these threads. They're $12 a ball, 100 grams, equivalent to 325 yards, okay? And I use 2.75 hook, depending upon the project, sometimes a 3.0, a pair of scissors, of course, and a small hook to tuck in loose ends. I'd like to mention also that I do have a private crochet group. You're more than welcome to join the beautiful queens there, as long as you have a profile pic, a Facebook crochet page you can follow, also Instagram and TikTok. So I want to thank every single one of you for your requests, your comments, and of course your uplifting words. Thank you so much. God bless you. We are going to get started. In case you do have a hard time with the video, sometimes I am a fast crocheter and I forget that I'm recording, I'm in my bubble. There is a link below the description box, a 2-minute link. It shows you how to slow down the video, turn your closed caption on. You can take notes, pause, take notes, and take it from there. I don't write patterns, unfortunately, as much as I don't read them. Okay, most of the patterns are my creations. Some are inspired by some followers and friends of mine from Brazil. And a lot of the patterns are created either as I go, or it takes certain beginnings and middles of others and ends of others and put it all together and becomes a pattern. So thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, please do so. It helps the channel. Give a thumbs up. It costs absolutely nothing. And you're only helping us creators to continue on with these videos. Thank you, everyone. Also, thank you for your donations and for the women that have come through to help others in need of thread. God bless you. And for some that are considering, well, my email is below. PayPal account is inside the description box. You can donate through there. If you donate through the YouTube automatically takes 30% off of whatever you're donating. For that reason, I put my PayPal account below. If you'd like to ship it yourself, you can email me, ask me for the name, the address, and I can send it to you. If you have extra yarn, extra thread, you can ship to these women. They definitely need your help. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's get started. Okay, everyone. So today we're going to create a runner in the St. Patrick's colors. Now, I've looked it up and I've asked in my group about the St. Patrick colors. Obviously, I wasn't too sure about. So there is a bit of white, there's blue, there's green, and there's orange. So I'm going to mix these colors into this runner. Now, this runner has been created before in yellow and gray. Because it's a special request on this runner with these colors, I'm going to recreate it again. Now, I have done the tutorial on the shamrock leaves, which I'll link the tutorial link below in the description box, and do the same thing for the leaves. Once I complete this tutorial, you might want to create it. I know it has been a big request on St. Patrick's Day, runner or doily and things like that, which I haven't gone around to do it. But since the request came in again, Kathy, Rose Cert, I'm not sure about your name. I am so sorry how to pronounce your last name, but I'll put it up here just to make sure that I didn't just say it wrong, but write it properly. I'm going to copy out of your comment. So I hope you're going to enjoy the tutorial. This is a special request for you, my dear. Thank you so much for your request. And we're going to get started. I'm going to use a 2.75 hook. These are 4-ply, similar to Aunt Lydia number 3 cotton. Aunt Lydia number 3 cotton will be a little bit bigger. My thread's a little bit thinner, not by much though. Okay, so we're going to get started. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's get started. You might also want to take out your markers. You'll probably need it. I'm used to creating without them, but for the tutorial purpose, I will be using the markers. So we are going to start with the blue, and this blue is, we go by numbers, not by color, number 32. So the first thing you want to do is that slip stitch knot, and I'm going to create 142 chain stitch. So this is a big runner as requested. So 142 chain stitch. I've done my 142 chain stitch. Now we're going to work on the 4th chain. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Doing double crochets, 1 per stitch, all the way to the end. Make sure you grab right on the center of the both loops so your pattern won't curve like a U shape. It's important to have a straight line. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I finished doing all my double crochets. I'm going to come in that last double crochet, and I'm going to do 6 more double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. With that last one, total of 7. Now we're going to put a hook on that last one. So now we have 7 double crochets on the corner. I'm going to come in to that first double crochet and then 1 per stitch. Now you want to hook, not hook, mark. Keep saying hook, I don't know why. So we need 7 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7th. I'm going to put it on the first one right after that 7th. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so 1 per stitch now. Okay, everyone, so I'm on my last double crochet. I'm going to put a hook, not a hook, a marker. I keep saying hook. Oh my goodness. Okay, and now we're going to do 6 more. I'm using my smaller hook because of my tight stitch. 6 more double crochets in here in the same stitch. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to hook on my very first one from the other side. I'm going to come back in and do a single and 2 chain. That's my first double crochet. And I'm also going to put my marker. So I have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and my 7th, which is one before we started the double crochet. Now I'm going to do 1 double crochet per stitch all the way to the end. I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay. Okay, everyone. So I finished my row. I've done my 7 double crochets here, exactly like the other side. Now my marker is on the double crochet just before the 7 and the one right after the 7 also. I did the walk to the next double crochet with a single and 2 chain, but where I have my marker, it's where it starts. So when I come back, I'll fill that one in. And we're going to continue to do 1 per stitch until the end. So I'll meet you at the corner again. We will have increase at the corners. So this would be row 2, 1, 2. This belongs to this side. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. I also want to remind you, just to make sure that you are on the right track, we have 139 double crochets on this side and 139 on this side. That's not included the 7, okay? So pretty much when we started that row, we had completed 141 double crochets, okay? And now we have 139 on each side from the markers. Okay, everyone, so we've reached the corner. I'm going to take out my marker. This is the last one before the corner stitch. So I'm just going to put it sideways here. Now, on the corner ones, the 7 that we have, we're going to do an increase 2 on each stitch. So we should have 14 double crochets, 2 double crochets per stitch on these 7 on the corner. Total of 14. I'm going to cut my thread after this, and I'm going to start coming in with the green. Now the only changes so far here is only the increases on the corners. All of the 139 on each side stay the same. Okay, so I'm just going to complete the other. You should have a total of 14 on the edge corners. Okay, everyone, so we completed row 2. I'm going to come in now with the green. This is a little bit darker green than the lime green. Little bits and pieces that I had left. We don't put nothing to waste. So I'm going to come in on that double crochet right after the corner where I have my marker. Do a single and 2 chain into the next one. So you know that we have to do the 139 double crochets, 1 per stitch. So I have 14 double crochets on each side. Okay, now when we get to the corner, we're doing, let's say, an increase on 1 double crochet two together, and then one alone, two together, one alone, two together. But I'll meet you at the edge of the corner. Okay, everyone, so reaching my corner on my first double crochet from the increase, I'm going to do one double crochet alone. On my second, two together. On the next one, on the first double crochet from the two that we have on the same stitch, one alone, next one, two together. This is how it's going to be on both corners. Now we are on row 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to continue to about row 7, and on the next row, row 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So row 3, 2 alone, or 1 alone, 2 together. 1 alone, 2 together. Always an increase on your second double crochet where we have the increase. On the next row, we'll have 2 double crochet alone. That means 1 per stitch, and 2 together on the second increase. That means on the second one here where we've done the increase. And the next row is going also will be 3 double crochet alone, 1 per stitch, and 2 together. Next row, 4 double crochet alone, 2 together. Next row, 5 double crochet alone, 2 together. You could always advance the video and see how many rows officially I've done. So this row 3 is 1 double crochet alone. On the second double crochet, 2 together on the same stitch. Next stitch, 1 double crochet alone. On the increase, 2 together. Okay, so very simple because it's just going to be a repeat now until the rows are complete. So just remembering, we started with 2 together. This time on row 3, 2 together, 1 alone. Row 4, 2 together, 2 alone. Row 5, 2 together, 3 alone. Row 6, 2 together, 4 alone. Okay, and that's how it's going to go. Like I said, you could always advance the video and see how many rows officially I have done. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of my rows. It's just a repeat. You have to do the same corners the same way, and the edges is just double crochet 139. If you want to keep putting your marker, go ahead, not to lose track of where you're at. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of my few more rows. Okay, everyone, so I've completed row 7, going into row 8. Now, row 8, I'm coming in with white, and it's just going to be single crochets, 1 per stitch, and no increase. Okay, so I'm coming right on top of that double crochet from the marker, single, into the next one, single. So it's all about singles all the way around to the end. And then I'm cutting my thread, and I'm going to come in with my orange. So I'm trying to fit the colors that go with St. Patrick's Day. I know there's a little bit of white. I had done a little bit of history on Google about the St. Patrick. Big shout out to all the Ireland friends. Okay, so row 8, singles all the way around, and then I'm cutting my thread. Okay, everyone, going into row 9, and I am using orange number 18, and we're going to be doing the X's. So I'm going to leave a little bit of string so I can tuck in at the end. And I'm going to roll 3 times on my hook. Now the first one is always harder to do. I'm going to start exactly where I have my hook here. Not my hook, my marker. I keep saying hook. Oh my goodness. I'm going to do half into the next stitch, half, and one more half. I'm going to take out 4 loops. take out 2, and the last 2. I'm going to worry about that string only. On the next row I'll tuck it in. So I'm going to come in that first and second loop on the halves and take out once and twice. Again, so doing double crochet into that second loop and my last loop and taking out. So I have my first X. Now from marker to marker, I'm going to do 1 chain space in between them on the curves only. So I'm going to roll twice on my hook into the next stitch, half, half, and half. This time we're only going to take 3, and then your double crochet into the first and second loop, double crochet into the second and the last loop, double crochet, chain 1 into the next one, half, half, and half. Take out 3 loops, and now your double crochet. Come in that first and second loop, and your double crochet into the second and third loop, and your double crochet. Easy as that. 1 chain space into the next stitch, half, half, and half. Take out 3 loops, double crochet, grab those 2 loops from the first and second double crochet there, and the second and the third. So I'm going to repeat this all the way around. The only difference is 1 chain space until the marker, and the same thing goes to the end here. So we start here, 1 chain space until the next marker. I'll meet you at the end of row 9. Okay, everyone, from marker to marker, I have 17 X's with 1 chain space. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1 chain space, 17 motifs. Now here we don't do chain space, we continue into the next chain directly. And when you get to the other corner, the other marker, you start adding your 1 chain space in between. Okay? I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, going into row 10. Now, row 10 will be only singles. And where we have our 1 chain space, we're going to do a single. So I'm coming in, I'm going to do a single here. You can do your single the way you feel like. And I've done it right over that double crochet where we have the marker. Okay, so on to the next stitch, single into the next one, single, and I'm just hiding that little thread as I'm going. And here we have that 1 chain space, so I'm going to come in and do a single in between inside of that 1 chain space, and then 1 per stitch. Again, we have that 1 chain space, single, and 1 per stitch. So when you come to the sides, we don't have 1 chain space, so it's just 1 per stitch. And then I'm cutting my thread again. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, going to row 11. I'm coming back in with my green, and I'm going to start right on top of that where my marker is. Now, it's going to be a bit of change here. This row will be all about double crochets, but we are having a few increases. So, doing my double crochet, then I'll just tuck in the rest. So, into the next stitch, you can do your normal double crochet as you're used to. Into the next stitch, double crochet. Now we have that single in between that one chain. We're going to alternate. We're going to do 2 together on the single. On the next one, no increase. On the next one, increase 2 together. Another way to do it is by counting 7 alone, and on your 8, 2 together. Okay, so this first one, we do 2 on the same stitch. Now you can count. This way you won't get mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 6, 7. 7 double crochets alone, and on my 8, 2 together. So this is the best way for you guys not to lose track. That means 1 increase, no increase, 1 increase, no increase, until the next marker. Okay, and then it's just 1 per stitch until the next corner of the marker, and then repeat exactly the same thing. So I'll meet you at the end. That's all there is to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. On my 8th one, 2 in the same stitch. That's my increase. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, getting into row 12. Now, row 12 is just single crochets all the way around. There is no increase because we already did the increase on the green. Okay, so 1 per stitch. I'm going to start where I have been starting, right where my marker is, single, and 1 per stitch all the way around. Now, after this row, I'm doing the X's again on here. I'll be doing the X's with orange. There's no point in me keep repeating the same stitch when all you have to do is rewind a bit. If you're still having issues doing the X's, and then follow through the first step on how to do your X's. Okay, so singles, row 12. Row 13 will be the X's, and row 14 will be singles. Okay, so I'm going to meet you at the end of row 13, which is the X's. Don't forget that you must do 1 chain space after your marker, as we've been doing. But I'll meet you there just to make sure you guys don't forget. Okay, so I'll meet you once I start my X's, which I'll be starting from the start here also. And we'll just follow through with 1 chain stitch on the X's like we did until the next marker. Okay. Okay, everyone, so I finished row 12. I'm not going to cut my thread. I'm going to leave it on the side in case I need to make an adjustment. That means maybe I could be missing a single or two, and I could always take down a few and add. So I'm going to come back in with my orange. So I'm going to come right on top of that last single, half, half, half. Now I'm going to take out 4. Take out 2 and the last 2. I'm going to come in the 2 loops, the first 2 loops from those double crochets, double crochet, and then the last 2. Hiding my thread as I'm going. So you know that we need to do our 1 chain space. So 1 chain, and then again into the next one, half, half, and half. Take out 3, try to hide the rest of this little thread. Come in that 2 loops from the 2 double crochets, and then the last 2 from second and third. 1 chain and repeat. So until the marker, you do that 1 chain space, exactly how we did in the bottom one. Okay, until the next marker, 1 chain space, and then no chain space. So I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so on my marker, to my marker, I have 26 groups of the double crochets, 26 groups, and 1 chain space between them. So that means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 1 chain in between the 26 motifs. Now here we continue the same way, no increase, so just directly into the next one. Make sure you do have the same thing on the other side. Even if you have to make an adjustment somewhere. Okay, if there is an adjustment to be made, I'll come back to you and let you know how we're going to do it. If the amount is fine, then we won't need any adjustment. But anyway, for that reason, I left my white, because if I'm missing 1 or 2 singles, then I can just add into my white on here. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, finish row 13, going to row 14. It's no different than what we did with the other ones. 7 singles alone on your 8, 2 together on the corners only. It's getting heavy and big. So where my marker is, so I'm going to come in that Whoops. First double crochet here with single, and I'll pull this to the back and hide it. So on this first space here, one chain, I'm doing 2 singles. And then you can start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 singles alone, or 1 per stitch, and then 2 inside of this one. And then again, start counting 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 inside of my 8. Okay, and then I'll meet you at the end. I will be cutting my thread. Okay, everyone, going into row 15. Now, I'm going to use a lighter shade of green, okay? So, we're going to start more or less on the double crochet, the group, just before we increase there. Now, this row, because we did the increase on the singles, this row, we're not going to do any increase. We're just going to do 1 per stitch, double crochet. So I did a single and 1 chain. I stretched enough. On the other pattern, I did the opposite. I did on the singles, I didn't do increase, but I did the increase on the double crochet, which makes really no difference, just to be a little bit different. And well, as far as stitching, there is no different on the pattern. The pattern's the same. I don't know yet. I might do the edging different than the other one, just so it can be a different pattern. So where we have the increase, of course, 1 per stitch. So we're not doing any increases on this row 15, just 1 double crochet per stitch. And like I said, I've come in with a lighter shade of green. I think it's going to complement a little bit more the pattern. We're almost arriving at the end. So 1 double crochet per stitch. I'll meet you at the end. I hope I wasn't off camera. I have that habit of doing that. I don't know why. I'm not looking into camera when I'm crocheting, obviously, because I have to concentrate on my stitch. So just 1 double crochet per stitch. I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so finished row 15, going to row 16. Very simple. I'm going to come back in the same stitch and do singles. So this row is going to be all about singles all the way around. There is no increase. It's just 1 per stitch. I wanted to mention that earlier, remember that white that I said that I would leave behind in case I needed to make an adjustment? Well, I didn't have to, so I've cut my thread. I forgot to mention that, in case you're curious. That's why it's always important to look ahead of the video to make sure that you catch on to things. Sometimes I forget. I mean, I'm far from being perfect. So, you know, I do try my best as much as I can. And I've noticed on the other video of the same pattern that there was a piece of the video in the next row that it was cut. You could only see me doing at the end of that row. So at the beginning of that row was completely chewed away that video up. I mean, it happens time to time. It's just crazy. And I've only noticed now. So I will be linking this link to that video in case people get lost in that next row that we're going to do, row 17, and they can come here and look at it, because I'll make sure that it is recorded on this one. My goodness, you know, I don't know how that happens, but it happens time to time on the videos. Okay, so single crochet, 1 per stitch, and I'll meet you at the end. No increase. Okay, everyone, going into row 17. So I closed in with slip stitch. I'm going to come back in, do a single, 2 chain. Coming into the next one, double crochet. So I have 2 double crochets, chain 2. I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3 on my 4th. I'm going to create a V, double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. Coming back in that same stitch, double crochet. So I have my first V, chain 2. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4 on your 4th, double crochet, next stitch, double crochet. We're going to proceed this way. This is the row that's missing the beginning on the other pattern that I just noticed. Chain 2, skip 1, 2, 3, come on your 4th, create double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain, come back in, double crochet, creating your V's. Okay, so that's all we're going to do to this row all the way around, and then I'm cutting my thread. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. This is row 17. Okay, everyone, so finished row 17, going to row 18. I'm going to start creating shells. So I'm going to come in on my shell, inside of my shell, with single, and 2 chain. That's my first double crochet. I'm just going to pull this down here. Actually, a single and 1 chain, because I've stretched it enough. We don't want it to be too baggy either. I'm going to come back in on the V's, and I'm going to create a total of 9 double crochets. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. If you feel that you need to do 10, you can. I'm going to come directly in between the 2 double crochets with a single, and again directly into the next V with 9 double crochets. This is how we're going to proceed all the way around, the same way. Seven, 8, and 9 into the double crochets, which I'm grabbing the second one, or you can go right through the middle. Okay, so I'm going to continue my row, and I'll meet you at the end. The blue is to complement the beginning of the blue, obviously. So in my understanding, St. Patrick, his dress, I don't know what you call it, but I'm going to call it dress, okay? It's blue. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Like I mentioned earlier, I went into the biography and it pretty much explains what it is. I think it's going to complement pretty lovely once we have it all together. Okay? Okay, everyone. So finish row 18. going into row 19, which will be a repeat of what we've done on row 17, okay? The only difference is we will be creating inside where we have the 2 double crochets. We're doing the single. So we'll create the V's where we have the 2 double crochets. So single, and I'm going to do 1 chain because it's already loose enough, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, coming back in, creating my V. Okay, now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain, and I'm going to come back in to the next single and create my V again, double crochet and 5 chain, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's all we're going to do all the way around. Now, if you find that it's pulling too much on your 7 chain, you could add an 8 chain. I hope I'm not off camera. I have a bad habit of doing that. Get a little bit more lighting here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into the single, double crochet and 5 chain, 2, 3, 4, and 5, coming back into that single and creating my V. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, going into row 20. So this time we're going to do the shells with 10 double crochets. Doing my single, I'm going to stretch it. That's my first double crochet and 1 chain. But you can do however you start your double crochet, okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. On my 5th, I'm doing a single. Coming back in again and doing my 10 double crochets. That's all you have to do for this row, and then I'm cutting my thread. And 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 on my 5th single. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of my row 20. Okay, everybody, going into the last row, row 21. So I'm going to come directly in that second double crochet with a single. It's a little bit different than the other pattern. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain for picot. So this first one, I'm just going to close it here, but the other ones, I'm going to close it different. It's always harder on the first one. Into the next single, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go inside of that single. It's faster and nicer, I find, for the picots. Single, 1, 2, 3. Again, inside of have that single. Now, I'm not working on the first one and I'm not working on the last one. So you should have 8 picots. See how this is going to work out. If I like it, I leave it. If not, I'll come up with something else. Just to have a different closing than the other pattern. Now, if you wanted to go bigger, you could always increase on your shells or on your X's. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 and my 8. Now, I went into the 8, but I'm not doing peacock. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now I'm going to come behind that single and I'm going to do a single front post, skip that first double crochet and repeat everything again. Single, 1, 2, 3, come in that single with picot. Next, 1, 2, 3, and again. So I'm going to do my 7 picots. So I've done my 7 picots. That means I skipped the first one. I'm now working the last one. And on my 8th double crochet, I'm doing just single, no picots. I have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now again, come in between or behind that single we did with front post single. Skip that first double crochet, go into the second, and your 3 chains. Come from behind that single, almost like working sideways. And again. So I will have the measurements below. I will be gluing my flowers on. Don't know yet how I'm going to glue it, but obviously you will see it on the video and on the pictures once I am completed. Hot gun glue, transparent glue is the best to glue these leaves on. Okay, I might even create one with 4 just to cover at the edge of the stems. Ideas that I have. I hope, Kathy, you enjoyed the tutorial and everybody else, of course. Thank you for your request. It was my pleasure. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you in the next video. So front post single. I think this pretty much does it for this video. I hope the colors combine well with your St. Patrick's Day. I try to do my best. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, God bless you. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. And if you have more suggestions, feel free. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It does help us creators tremendously to keep going on and putting out these patterns for you guys. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.